This just in. Video games created bullying, everyone. If you didn't actually know, bullying didn't exist before Bully the game, and Call of Duty invented murder as well. Like most Rockstar games, there's always some group of people, usually parents, who claim GTA or Bully or whatever it is the cause for violence in our world, and well, in this case, bullying. As a man who was once a kid and played some of these violent games, I can confirm it has not turned me into a psychopath yet. But anyways, that's not what we're here to debate today. Instead, I finally decided to play and finish Bully in 2022. And yes, believe it or not, this is never a game I played back in the day. I was too busy having a life and bullying kids in school. That's a joke. I was playing Star Wars Battlefront. Regardless though, this kind of gives me a more neutral, unbiased perspective of Bully that isn't tarnished by nostalgia or anything. Although, funnily enough, I had feelings of nostalgia when playing this game, which would initially make no sense considering I've never played it, but I don't know, the music and the art style of the game almost tricked me into thinking this was a game from childhood. I suppose it just reminded me of games from the time, but like, come on, this game's soundtrack is fire. But the soundtrack aside, I was really curious what exactly about Bully appealed to so many people, and even though I never played the game, I was always very aware of it and the cult following believing there should be a Bully 2, which apparently was scrapped by Rockstar not too long ago, which kinda sucks. I'm really curious what a Bully game in modern times would look like. But anyways, it's worth pointing out Bully is very cheap nowadays. At full price, it's $15. Obviously, you can get it much cheaper on sale. It's available on PC, on Steam, and the Rockstar Games Launcher, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and of course the Xbox 360, as well as PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS5 through backwards compatibility. Just to clarify, I purchased the Steam version on PC, and if you plan to get the game on PC, yeesh, there's a few things you need to do before you get it working properly. You need to download a few mods to help with stability and remove the 30 FPS cap if you want. I'm gonna put a link in the description to a really useful video I watched that explained how to do all that and saved me from a big headache. Finally, getting to the actual game though, the premise is very simple. You play as bad boy Jimmy Hopkins, who's been suspended from 7 other schools, and his mom and new stepfather, some comically evil parents by the way, throw poor old Jimmy into the, well, objectively the worst school on the planet, Bulworth Academy. Man, and I thought some of my schools were bad. Bulworth Academy on the surface is a disciplined, prestigious school where students of all ages and backgrounds are brought together under a singular rule and made into good, disciplined members of society. However, this is merely a facade, a false pretense, because Bulworth Academy is anything but a school. It's a war zone. There's fighting around every corner. The main factions, the nerds, jocks, greasers, preppies, bullies, and the townies, who are the vengeance-seeking dropouts, form a hierarchy. The factions are constantly at war with one another, while the teachers are engaged in battles of their own. Rather, it's abusing children physically and mentally, trying to get each other fired, or partaking in forbidden romances. Bully is a story about bullying, but every single form it entails. So in this battlefield of a school, you're the new kid with a bad temper and constantly wavering loyalty as you try to weave and not only survive this plague-ridden academy, but rise above it and provide peace and order. If you think Bully is a game about you merely bullying people, you couldn't be more wrong. But you're also kinda right.
And we kick them in the balls!
The title of the game is so vague yet telling. Who is the bully the game title refers to? Is it you, Jimmy Hopkins, bullying the weak, and those who bully him in an attempt to end the cycle and stop the bullying in Bulworth? Man, that's a mouthful. Is it Gary, the kind of kid you expect to grow up to become a Batman villain?
Let's go out and torment someone really helpless and unfortunate. That homeless guy.
No, it's referring to everyone. There's just an endless cycle of bullying within Bulworth. God, that is hard to say. And there's no clear one singular bully. Usually you'd expect some cliche like jocks bullying nerds, but nah, even the nerds are getting in on the action, bullying whoever they believe weaker than themselves. I mean, the only person I can confidently say wasn't a bully in this game is poor old Petey, who seems about the only normal, sane human being in this entire game. Because it's not just the kids who display psychotic tendencies.
So excited! I should have stopped taking those pills ages ago.
The adults are comically awful as well. The English teacher is a drunk who drinks in front of kids and relies on the help of a child to help him get a colleague fired. There's drunk Santa who puts out a hit on elves and the fake Santa. And there's a creepy guy who asks you to steal girls' laundry from their dorm. And those are just a few examples. Trust me, there's a lot of weird in this game, and that's part of the game's charm to many people and why its story is so absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. I find it quite funny that Bully is considered like the GTA but for children, because while some of the humor is immature and childish, with all the pranks, there's still a lot of adult themes and jokes in here that little kids likely wouldn't even understand.
Great! So go and collect all the dirty laundry from the, girls' dorm.
There were some twisted minds behind the writing of this game. It's definitely something we don't get as much of these days. A lot of the jokes probably wouldn't fly today, but Rockstar really doesn't care. It's part of Bully's unique charm. The characters are silly, crazy, some borderline insane. Obviously, there's no super deep emotional story, although it does tackle the theme of bullying in a more real way. And by that I mean it doesn't just show a clear black and white, oh, stop bullies and be nice to kids, like a lot of modern schools try to tell people. But generally, it's meant to be a fun and ridiculous plot and premise, and on that, Bully certainly delivers. Bully's gameplay fits really well with the story and gives you the freedom to how you treat your fellow students at Bulworth. Similar to the Red Dead Redemption games, you can choose to be nice and make peace with students, or antagonize them and escalate things until it turns into a physical fight.
You're, pretty. Wanna, hang out?
Sorry, but I have to go study.
The hand-to-hand combat is surprisingly pretty advanced. There's a lot of combos and special moves you can learn and unlock as you progress through the game, whether it's learning it in gym class or through the homeless guy. Jimmy Hopkins learns and acquires the skills to become Bulworth's own vigilante.
Dumbass. You're so far over your head you can't even see the light.
You're also equipped with a large variety of tools and weapons. You get a slingshot, bottle rocket launcher, spud gun, stink bombs, firecrackers. There's plenty of ways to commit terrorism. I mean justice. The traversal is also quite fun. You get a skateboard and a bike from shop class to ride around with. And of course, just like real life, school isn't only just getting to beat up other kids with advanced weaponry and extensive martial arts training. You also have to attend classes. You have math, English, photography, art, music, chemistry, biology, shop, and gym class, where you actually have to complete a variety of tasks to pass the class. Whenever you get a passing grade, you obtain upgrades or new items to assist in your quest of school domination. The customization in Bully is also really unique and genuinely surprising just how in-depth and detailed it can be. Firstly, you have a large variety of clothing options from normal school uniform to ninja to crime fighting aliens. But what's also really neat about it is how the NPCs react to what you're wearing. If you aren't in school uniform during school hours, you'll be violating the dress code and the prefects will chase you down. If you're wearing some kind of ridiculous costume, the kids will laugh and make fun of you. And whenever you talk to them, they won't treat you as well. Just like real life, it's gonna be a real challenge to get a girl to kiss you when you're dressed as a ninja.
She'd be so mad.
Psych, that's verified to work 100% of the time in real life. Trust me. I would never lie to you guys. But aside from clothing, you can also change around Jimmy's haircut and make him look as normal or crazy as you want. Overall, Bully has some great gameplay. It's really unique and surprisingly pretty in depth. Lots of fun, non-lethal weapons so the game can keep a T rating. And it's the perfect game to let out your frustrations on your childhood bullies. No mercy! The mission structure isn't the best, which to be fair is expected. Some people might find it's aged poorly and some of the missions might be boring or a little repetitive. But I think the premise and gameplay is so unique, it's something you might not even care too much about. Bulworth Academy, as you can imagine, is a pretty big prison, asylum, or a school. What's the difference, really? You've got your boys and girls dorms, so naturally, you'll be spending a lot of time sneaking into the girls' dorm.
And you should stay out of the girls' dorm, you little perv.
Yeah, we've all been there. That's a joke. That's a joke. You got your library where all the nerds hang out, the football field where you can launch your offensive against the jocks, along with the decently sized Bulworth town outside school grounds that has a decent amount of mischief to get up to as well. You can perform jobs for money like delivering newspapers, there's shops where you can buy items and clothing, barbers, there's even a carnival where you can actually play mini games and get on roller coaster rides, which is very impressive that they actually went through the trouble of allowing you to go on the rides. It really helps the immersion. There's several locations where Jimmy can hang up his coat where you can sleep. If you don't sleep, by the way, you'll eventually pass out at 2 a.m. Not to mention you'll be chased by prefects by staying up past curfew at 11 p.m. Can definitely relate on that one. That's also where you'll change your clothes and manually save, as Bully has no auto-saving like all the old Rockstar games. It's also where your chem set is located, which is where you can craft some of your tools like the firecrackers. There's little errands you can run for other students or adults for a quick cash reward, which usually entails you doing some chore or challenge for them. You even go through all the seasons during the game as the world and climate changes from fall to the snow-covered winter and back to spring and summer. It feels like the world is actually progressing as you slug your way through the grueling school year where you must attend your classes and get passing grades. You can also just skip class like all the cool kids, but then you miss out on some of the rewards. Bully hasn't necessarily aged very well in its presentation. The graphics don't look particularly bad, but the colors looked washed out. The draw distance is very short unless you increase it with a mod, and the game plays really weirdly on keyboard and mouse. It's definitely still possible, you just got to adjust the keybinds a bit, and there's still some parts of the game that don't read the inputs very well for mouse and keyboard, like any of the first-person aiming or trying to match the inputs in shop class. It's probably better played with the controller anyways, but I played with keyboard and mouse regardless because I'm stubborn. Bully is one really weird and also extremely unique game, and I can confidently say I've never played anything quite like it. It's by far one of the most unique games Rockstar has ever made, and now I understand why so many people have such high praise for it and hope for a Bully 2. It may not be the type of game that's for everyone, but I personally really enjoyed the ridiculousness of what the game had to offer, and I'd recommend it, especially when it's on sale for really cheap in 2022. I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this have already played the game, so let me know in the comments what you like so much about it and how you feel about a possible Bully sequel. If you haven't played Bully before, let me know if this video helped you decide whether or not to try it out. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and consider subscribing if you're new. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. I'll be busy bullying kids.